When you experience infidelity in your marriage, it can literally turn your world upside down if you've dealt with that. Or maybe you're going through that now and you've decided to stay together and make it work. Then this video is for you. I work with couples all the time who want to save their marriage, and I'm here to tell you that if both of you truly want the marriage to work, then it can. If you haven't decided for sure that you want to stay and work on it, then this video is not for you. This video is for those who've already decided to stay, but they're unaware how to do it. Okay? It's about taking your marriage from surviving after infidelity to thriving. The fact that you've experienced this devastating reality and decided to work on it, first of all, I want to applaud you. That is not an easy thing to do. It's not an easy situation. But I want to give you some tips to help you get over the struggle and help you get a better marriage. You need to believe that you can have a better marriage and a better one than it was before the marriage you had before. You need to know that it's gone, it's dead, it's over. You're going to create something totally new, okay? Couples who are successful at navigating this troubling situation, they end up with a stronger and more intimate marriage usually. Now I'm going to give you 5 tips for the cheater. I'm going to give you 5 tips for the victim or the one who was betrayed. And then I'm going to give you 5 tips for both of you as a couple, like for the marriage, okay? So first for the cheater. Number 1, transparency. You need to become a transparent person if you're not already a transparent person. You need to become a transparent person, not just an honest person. What I mean by that is honestly, you can tell the truth when you're asked about something. But what I mean about transparency is about volunteering the information without being asked, okay? Your partner does not want to ask you about things, what's going on in your life, where you've been, who you've called, who's calling you, who's texting you. If you already have difficulty sharing your world, then it's going to be harder for you. It's going to be a little bit harder than normal. But you need to get away from that. You need to be comfortable offering it up, okay? Most of the people I work with do not want to be that kind of spouse that checks the phone and always questioning, you know, where you're going, where you've been, like who wants to do that? So you need to help them by being upfront and open about everything. Even if you think or feel that it's not a big deal, also in conjunction with being transparent, make sure that there are no more secrets, okay? So whether if you guys are in the beginning, this is especially true for you, but even if it's been some years and you're still trying to work on it, but you haven't quite gotten that traction yet, okay? So make sure there are no more secrets, okay? If you're trying to rebuild, but you haven't told your partner everything, you are setting yourself up for more trauma and more drama. Number 2, you have to learn how to comfort your partner when they're dealing with the pain of what you did. You got to learn how to comfort them a lot of times. And men and women cheat. But most of the time, it's the men, right? And when they see their wife hurting, they want to go the other way and give her space. And you may want to give them space. That's when you actually need to come close to them. Okay? Now, of course, you got to learn from them how to comfort them, but make sure that you are ready and willing to be their rock. Now, I understand this is a hard thing. I tell my offenders, try to see yourself as your partner's best friend as opposed to seeing yourself as their spouse in those particular times, right? Tell yourself, I'm going to comfort my friend about what their spouse did. It sounds crazy, but until you're secure enough to hear and see their pain without running away or without being defensive, then yeah, you're going to prolong the pain. So find a way to be the comfort they need. All right? Number 3, keep your word, okay? Make sure that you keep it. Don't say things and then not follow through with them. It could be the smallest of things. I'm not talking about life-altering decisions. It can be small things, but because you're trying to rebuild trust, every misstep matters, okay? So if you're going somewhere, tell your partner where you're going. If you say you're going to pick up the kids from school on Wednesday, then pick up the kids from school on Wednesday. If you say you're going to cook on Friday for the family, then you cook for the family on that Friday, okay? This helps to rebuild trust. Number 4, Don't get defensive when your partner asks you questions about the situation. This is not just for new people, like people where this is new. Even years down the line, okay? Don't get defensive when they ask you questions. These questions may not come to you in the most pleasant way or the most respectful way, but the role is not to get defensive no matter what. If you get defensive, you're going to derail the rebuilding process, I'm telling you. Trust me, okay? You have to learn how to ignore the disrespect when it comes to you. I mean, you have to learn to ignore the disrespect when it comes and give your partner what they need in the moment. Now, I'm not saying just allow them to disrespect and mistreat you. No. What I'm saying is sometimes when their emotions are raw, okay, they may give it to you and it's disrespectful. Learn to block that, give them what they need in the moment, and then later both of you can talk about the disrespect. A separate conversation. You can both talk about the disrespect or whatever later when things calm down. Now, this is number 5. The 5th tip I have for the cheater: go to therapy. Get you some individual therapy. This is a great time for you to go to therapy and work on your individual stuff, okay? You need to understand why you did what you did, and you also need to heal any limiting beliefs that may have played a part in your decision. So when you go to therapy, have things that you want to work on and be open to the process, especially you men. We're here to help, and when I say we, I mean coaches and therapists. And yeah, you can also go to a link down in the description to get you started. Okay, now to the victim, now to the one who's been betrayed. Number 1, since you've decided to stay and work on it, you have also decided to forgive. You can't decide to stay together before you forgive, because if you do, you're likely going to damage the marriage more. Okay? When you decided to stay, you also decided not to punish your partner anymore. I know that you're crushed right now. I know that it hurts, but crushing your partner won't help the marriage. It won't make things better by you hurting them. I've heard too many stories of spouses treating their offender, their partner, harshly, and then the person who did them dirty, who did the crime, they just take it because they feel like it's what they deserve. And you know they can't do anything about it. So no, 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 no. If you're more committed to punishing your partner instead of healing your marriage, then you need to let them go. If you're going to punish them, and you know you're going to punish them, just let them go. Because if you don't, you're doing way more damage than you can imagine. And I'm talking about your own soul, not to them. I'm talking about to you with this first item, okay? And I talk about forgiveness. Let me share a few things with you about forgiveness, because a lot of times forgiveness gets confused. And it's important to get this forgiveness thing right, because forgiveness doesn't mean that I'm over the hurt. No. If I forgive you, it doesn't mean I've stopped hurting, right? I may still hurt. Forgiveness doesn't mean when I forgive you that it doesn't mean that we're better. Oh, there's work to do. There's work. I can forgive you up front, but we still got a lot of work to do. Okay? Forgiveness is not a feeling. It is a decision, so it's not necessarily based on how you feel. Because the truth is, I don't know when you're going to feel like forgiving. Forgiveness doesn't mean that your partner can now stop working on themselves. I hear a lot of people say, I didn't want to have sex with them because I didn't want them to think that they had to stop working on themselves. It's hard for me to be kind to them because I didn't want them to think that they could stop working on themselves. I didn't want them to think that it was okay. So essentially, what you're saying is I'm trying to force them to prove to me that they love me, and I'm trying to force them to do something that they might not do otherwise. Most people who have gone outside the marriage, most cheaters, they don't think that way. They don't think because we have a good day that everything is okay now. What most cheaters think is we had a good day today, and then for some reason it gets thrown off by tomorrow. And tomorrow is now a bad day, but that's a different story altogether. I'll get to that later. But nobody really expects because we had sex or because we had something good happen, now all of a sudden it's hunky-dory and it's all over. That doesn't even make sense. That's not how they think. Forgiveness simply means you give up the right for revenge. And you may need professional help with forgiveness, actually, because it's not as easy sometimes, especially with this kind of situation. It may not be as easy, okay? So you may need help, and there's a link in the description for you. Number 2, along with forgiving, make sure that you always give respect, okay? Now for the victim, right? As much as it depends on you, make sure you're always respectful. I understand that you may not have the capacity to be sweet and pleasant, right? Especially in the beginning. But you have to at least be respectful, okay? You can't be disrespectful and try to rebuild at the same time. It's not going to work, okay? You need to treat your partner like a human being. We're together. We're still partners. We got to deal with the pain. We do. But let respect be the baseline of how you treat them. Number 3, this one is important, you know. I'm surprised. I'm not going to lie. I'm surprised I even have to say this one because of what I've seen with the 5,110 couples I've worked with over the last 12 years. I gotta say this one. If you've been cheated on, delete any and all evidence of their cheating. Again, let me remind you that I'm talking to couples who've decided to stay together and build a new marriage, okay? If you've decided to stay together and build a new marriage, delete all the evidence, right? I've seen clients who kept the email, who kept the texts, who kept the videos their partner had with the other person or whatever evidence you're holding on to. Get rid of it. It will do nothing but hurt you. If you've decided to stay, get rid of that stuff. What's the purpose anyway, right? To be reminded of your pain? To punish your partner? To use against them in case things don't work out? If any of these reasons are your reasons, then you haven't decided to stay. Number 4. Number 4, this is also for you. A good time to go to individual therapy, okay? You need someone who understands your situation and who will be empathetic but also willing to speak the truth to you in love. Because you may not have cheated, but perfect is what you're not. I've never seen a one-sided marriage. In the 5,010 couples I've worked with to date, as of making this video, I've never seen a one-sided marriage where only one person in the marriage is tearing everything up, even with infidelity clients. So go to therapy right now. This is going to help you deal with the trauma. It's going to help you deal with the automatic thoughts, the sleepless nights, all that. But it also can help you become a better spouse all around. Why? Because you don't want to take the old you into a new marriage. Let's fix everything, okay? There's a link in the description to help you get started. So go to therapy. And lastly, nothing on this planet lasts forever, okay? Nothing on this planet lasts forever, including your pain. See, when you're having a bad day, and a lot of times this is mostly in the beginning, but it could be at any time. But oh, when you're having a bad day, it may feel like the pain will last forever, or that things will never get better. That's not true, okay? That's not true. You will have setbacks, but I encourage you not to make any life-altering decisions while you're dealing with the deep pain that you're dealing with, okay? When you're deep in pain, when you're having a bad day, don't make life-altering decisions. And remember, nothing lasts forever. Now, let me give you 5 tips for the marriage, for you guys together as a couple. Number 1, You guys need to prioritize quality time. You need to prioritize quality time, all right? What is quality time? Quality time is when you spend time together focused on each other, not just both of you being in the room on the couch watching TV, okay? Not just both of you together in the same room but on your devices. Quality time is when we're together and we're focused on each other. We're focused on us, okay? Now, you don't have to go on dates all the time just to get quality time in. But however, you guys need to get in. You guys need to get it in. Why is that? Because we're human beings, which means we're relational, okay? By us being relational, bonds become stronger when we spend quality time together. So you guys need to strengthen your bonds, so you will need to spend some quality time. Spending quality time will also aid in you guys rebuilding trust, all right? The part of your marriage that needs the most work is actually the friendship piece, because the friendship is where the like lives. It's why the intimacy lives. So you'll need to spend quality time. All right, number 2. So number 2 is supported by number 1. Do the work to learn your partner. Do the work to learn your partner at a deeper level than what you already know, okay? It doesn't matter how long you guys have been together. You could use some lessons in who your partner is and what has been their experience on the planet. Now, when I say their experience on the planet, I don't simply mean what they've been through, but I mean what they've grown through. Right now, the things that they've been used to, the things that have shaped their lives, you want to know that. Everybody has a story, and you got to remember that. All of us human beings, including you and your spouse, we all live in different worlds. None of us live in the same world. Your world only exists in your mind, nowhere else on the planet, okay? So when you see your partner's behavior, you're going to process it based on the rules of your world, and when you do that, you're going to misunderstand them, okay? So you got to do the work to understand your partner's world as much as possible. And this will strengthen the love. This will strengthen the trust. And this will strengthen the friendship. Number 3, you need to get some professional help. That may not be obvious to some people. I used to think it was obvious, but sometimes I get people who come to me and the affair was like 2 years ago and they never got help. I had a couple, the affair was 7 years ago and they never got help. And now I'm working with them and they're way worse than they were before. This is not one of those areas where getting advice from a friend is enough. And actually, let me tell you this, talking to your pastor or bishop or minister probably won't work either. You need to get the right kind of professional help. I consult with couples who are dealing with this, and I tell them, if you don't get help with me, you got to get it from somewhere, okay? Do not try to navigate these waters by yourself. You're going to make things worse, okay? So get some professional help, somebody that can walk with you for the long term and teach you how to do marriage. Because who taught you how to do marriage the first time? Exactly. That same person who taught everybody. Nobody, right? Nobody taught you how to do this. So how are you going to learn how you are supposed to be all of the sudden and going to do it better, or with all of this pain and chaos in the middle of it? You've decided to stay, but you don't know what you're doing. You need some help, okay? Here's the 4th thing. This is for both of you. Focus on more of what you are giving than what you are getting, okay? I'm not saying ignore your needs completely. I'm not saying that. But I am saying focus more on what you are giving than what you are receiving, okay? Don't fall into the trap of this back and forth tit for tat, right? That's childish, and it's destructive to your family. If you're the victim, you may be low in your capacity to give at certain times, of course, but give what you can, okay? If you're the offender, don't spend too much time focused on that they're not giving you credit for what you've been doing. man, I've been doing this, I've been doing good all this week, and she didn't even notice. Don't focus on that. Instead, focus on doing what's right to help them. Also, as the offender, let me say this. You need to not let your partner mistreat you. Now, I said this earlier, to block the disrespect, right? But I also said to you, don't just let folks mistreat you, including your partner, okay? It's unloving. I need to make sure that you hear that it's unloving. You're not being loving towards your partner when you allow them to mistreat you because they're doing bad things to their own soul. And so, if you care about them, don't let them mistreat you. Don't let them treat you like that. As a matter of fact, just so you know, because some of you have parents, like you may be an adult, but you have parents who mistreat you. It's unloving to allow anyone to mistreat you. It's unloving to them, not to mention to you. So don't do that. Number 5. Here's the last one, and this, if I can be honest with you, is probably the most important one. Address your idols. Don't tune out. Listen, don't tune out. I need you to lean into what I'm about to say here, right? If you do not address your idols, you will suffer greatly, and your marriage will suffer. Now, what do I mean by idols? Anything that you go to, that you depend on for an external source to fulfill an internal need in your life, or you feel you need in your life more than God, is an idol. Idolatry is anything you look at, and in your heart of hearts you say, if I had that, then my life has value. Then my life has meaning. And if I would lose that, I don't know what I would do. I don't know how I would live. Most couples have made idols out of their partner. They've made idols out of their partner or something that they believe their partner can give them, like love or approval or even security, right? All these things can be idols. I did a video on that some time ago about being needy, and it was on this topic of idolatry, right? Listen, do not skip this step. Don't. I'm telling you, if I can come through that screen and I can grab you, I do not skip this step. If you do, and if you do not address your idols, I'm confident enough. I can say I guarantee nothing else in this video will matter. I got a bonus for you. This is mostly for the victim, okay? Don't try to make your partner prove their love for you. Don't try to make them jump through circus hoops to prove their love for you, okay? You're going to hurt yourself when you do things like that, to try to make them prove that they love you. Do you understand that whatever they do at this moment in time because of the pain, it won't register in your heart as love? So it's going to be null and void. All it's going to do is cause more hurt and more pain. I hope this video was helpful for you. I know it was helpful for you, but I hope that you apply it and you use it. Now, this is not everything that you need to know, obviously. This is not a therapy session. You need a professional to walk with you, and long-term maybe even, for a while. Because again, nobody taught you how to do marriage, so no one showed you. Definitely no one taught you how to do marriage after infidelity. But hopefully, this can get you started. This can give you some guidance. This can help you get on and stay on the right track. I'm going to end with this. I believe marriage is God's idea. Marriage works when we do it the way He said to do it. Stay tuned. I'm going to do more on infidelity. I'm going to do more on this idea because I know there's a lot of people suffering. And there's a lot of people who are suffering who really want to feel whole again. They don't want a divorce. And if that's you, I'm here to help you. Okay? Comment below or DM me or use my help links in the description. I am here to help. All right, everyone. Take care.